So here we are on the outside. On the awning, I had to take off the bracket there. There was just two long screws. It went into a piece that was rotted. So here we'll go inside. The other side I left alone. There's no problems. As far as I can tell, it's aluminum, Luan foam, fiberglass. So it's very well sealed walls. And there's no warping or buckling back, so the water didn't go down the walls. And there's also a metal plate to help fasten everything down, and that stopped the water from flowing. So what it is a typical arrangement. The bathroom, there's the vent skylight that I'm going to keep with a fan. So I just plan on blocking this off. There used to be a flange mount here, so I went and pulled that off, and the new flange is just going to come across here. And so I tacked all the wood rot. The leak was in this area here and flowing downhill outboard, so I decided to go ahead and take off all the plywood and just keep a straight line right here. This wood, once it dried, it was fine. The glue's fine. This is holes from the screws and whatnot. And over in the trash is where the outboard piece was. There's just so many screws and stuff in there, and it lost a little bit of wood, so I decided to go ahead and include that in the replacement, which I'll put one piece all the way down to the drip edge of the roof. And like I was saying, up here there's a metal plate up there on all the walls which stopped the travel of the water, so the wood was just absorbing it. There's no insects or anything, so once I got it all out, I doused it really heavy with bleach. And this is the very outermost wall. There's the tail lights up here. There's the last truss, second to last truss, and the forward truss here. So the original format, this truss, they came out to about here with this piece, and then there was a brace to go from forward truss to last truss that would carry this truss weight. So I cut it back, and this piece here is stained, but it's solid, and this is just got barely any kind of compression at the bottom, but I wanted to keep this joint so I didn't have to mess with that. Back here, this is stained but solid, and there's just one layer that came off the plywood on the back, but I'm going to take care of that in the rebuild. I cut the truss here and here, as you can see under here, and then the awning screws were a pair of these holes back here. This truss here is a little soft at the end. I decided not to cut it, but what I'm going to do is reinforce this entire truss all the way out. I just didn't want to mess with this. This has been soaked with bleach, and then this one has some stain, but there's no rot going on, so I soaked that with bleach. And you can see back around in all these other areas, the plywood's all good color, so there was just a small leakage for a long time coming through and just building up in this area. And when I was cutting off, I nicked these cables, which were laying on the Luan, so that was interesting. Put a little silicone on there since it just hit one conductor, wrapped it with rubber and then electrical tape. So next I'm going to put all my puzzle pieces in there that I've been working on, and you can see what my thoughts are.